So I'm doing something a little different, and I'm going to start off today with the devotional, and it's from Isaiah 40:31. And it says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." And as you guys are starting school, I know some people started school this Thursday. Just know that you are not alone. The Lord is with you, and that you will not be faint of heart because He will always renew your strength. He will always give you the strength to persevere. Now, I hope you guys like this week's video. Here it goes. Today is going to be on one of my favorite topics, which is interview. I have to interview a lot for pageants and even job opportunities and scholarship opportunities. And so I feel like it's a very vital skill to start learning as early as 10 years old because it is so vital to being able to represent who you are. And sometimes you are such a better person than what you can come across in an interview because we get so nervous because usually they're high pressure situations. And so I have a couple of my interview tips that I've been learning throughout my pageant career. Many thanks to my pageant coaches for all this. And so as we start, just keep in mind that the number one thing is to always be yourself. And that's why it is about Embrace Different, because it is so important to always be who you are, and that's the number one thing. Now, from here on out, when you walk into a room, the first thing that you're going to be doing is seeing them at the table or at their chairs, and that's going to be their very first impression. So it's really important that you start off on a good foot. And the best thing you can do is have a big smile. They want somebody who's likable and welcoming, so you never want to be a person that's very standoffish. You don't want to come in with a blank face. Be very excited. Make eye contact because they're going to want somebody who is confident in who they are to be able to make eye contact with others, especially if you're doing this for a job or a scholarship. They want to know that you are ready for whatever they're about to give you. Next is a handshake. Sometimes this may be appropriate, sometimes not. In pageants, you typically don't because I'm sure the judges don't want to shake 50 people's hands. That would be spreading a whole lot of germs. But in an interview job setting, I typically would. Now, I did interview for a teaching fellow scholarship where I did not because they had us go and directly stand behind a podium. Excuse me. So I didn't go around the podium just so I could shake their hands. As far as your attire, this is something that is very, very, very important because I would not wear something like this to an interview. It is not formal enough. It needs to be very business. So I would suggest a suit with a pantsuit or a skirt suit, maybe depending on your style. However, there are a couple other options. Like I have a couple dresses that I've worn in pageants, so I wanted to show you guys this. So this is one I wore for my senior year of high school in pageant interview. As you can tell, it's very simple. I just paired them with some red pumps. It's pretty. I love it. And then this one is what I wore to Miss Collegiate America this year. And this one is more me. I love the white. I paired it with some nude heels, just regular nude heels. Please don't wear heels that you can't walk in because you don't want to be fumbling as you walk into the interview room. So make sure your shoes or something you can walk in. I wouldn't recommend wearing tennis shoes unless you have certain back issues that you have to, because I just feel like it's more professional to wear either heels or some sort of nice flats to go with whatever outfit. Make sure it matches, it doesn't clash. Your hair and makeup should be very natural and fresh, but it should still highlight you. Like my hair today is a little frizzy, so I might have straightened it a little bit to try to get the frizz out because I do want to show my best stuff. I don't want them to think that I just rolled out of bed, even though my hair is just always frizzy and it doesn't ever do what I want it to. And then your makeup should definitely be clean cut. What I have right now is perfect because I feel like it's just a fresh face. It's not too much. It's not basic. And then when you're actually in the interview, there's a couple important things you need to bring, and the first one is your resume. Your resume should highlight all the things that you've done. And now if you need some tips on resume building, then there's tons of websites out there for that. If you just Google how to make a resume, it will be out there. You can also have a cover letter on your resume. I always suggest that. You can look up all that online. Very easy, very simple. I've had one since I was like 15, and I've just added to it and updated it as I've gone through my years, and that way I've just had it ready for no matter anything. Now, depending on what you're interviewing for, you might have to bring other artifacts. Like if I was interviewing for a teaching position, I would probably bring in some statistic on my students, how well they've been doing, how I've had them grow, some of the data on what they've been doing as with me as a teacher. Now, every question they're going to ask you, it can be totally off the wall. It's probably something off your resume. Hopefully, you'll be able to give it to them ahead of time. But always relate it back to yourself and your accomplishments. Even if they ask you something silly like what's your favorite color, you can say I like pink because it's fun and it's very bold, and I feel like I reflect that very well. I love the color pink because I feel like I'm fun and bold, and it would be something that I'd have in my classroom. Something that just shows that you are intelligent in what you're asking, because if you just say, oh, my favorite color is pink, that doesn't give you any information about who you are as a person. And it's not that they want to trip you up, but they just want to see that you can answer things on the spot and make sure that you're going to be very well spoken in whatever title or position that they're trying to give you. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. I've had now 6 years of interview experience, and it has helped me so much get scholarships and interviewing for jobs, because even I had one of my bosses here in Anderson, when I was applying, they said, you had one of the best resumes I've ever seen. And that's just because over the years I've been working on it, and I didn't let it just be something that I just let kind of wither away. I've continuously added to it as I've gone on. But I hope you guys can take away from this. Good luck with scholarship auditions and getting a job. I know that's all coming up for everybody, especially with the new school year starting. But I'm praying for you guys, and I love you all.